guys, how's it going?
It's going great.
We are live.
Yeah.
Nerds to Men.
Nerds to Men. We got people tuning in, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Let's talk about Arrow.
Yeah. All right.
We're going to spoil it for Gog, because Gog has not seen it, but let's talk about Arrow first. Oh, he's going to Weekend at Bernie's it. So, Gog's going to Weekend at Bernie's, but we're going to talk about Arrow. All right.
Sounds good.
We're only going to spend a little bit of time on Arrow, though. That's why we're starting off.
Because it's booty.
Well, I mean, once you got to the end, and hopefully everybody that's watching this did, unless you're going to Weekend at Bernie's it with Gog, the last episode was pretty entertaining in my opinion, but the lead up to it was just terrible.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a lot of people that were like, I'm just so psyched to watch this week to week, and then have it to where it's like the main villain, and like I say, spoilers, but the main villain of the season, Prometheus, just offs himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was pretty anticlimactic.
I thought it was too. I mean, he had his son, that was all dramatic, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, you weren't protecting him better than that.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then the whole, spoilers, island blowing up. It's just like, they're not dead.
Right. That's what I wanted to say is it was like a cliffhanger, but it's not, they got off somehow.
Yeah.
Because they didn't kill everybody on the show.
Exactly.
Is it like Lost?
Kind of like Lost. Yeah.
Well, see, you know what they should have done?
What?
That should have been the halfway season mark.
Yeah.
They could have cut out a whole lot of stuff to get to that part, and whatever comes up in season 6, you just could have went through that way, like the aftermath of all that.
Well, yeah, and if that had been the mid-season finale, and then we come back to more Deathstroke, whatever happens after this, that would be probably a lot better than how it played out this season, which was it started. I don't know. They never committed to any one storyline. It seemed like throughout the season, and then they finally got to the finish line, and it was like, we made it,
right?
But does anybody really want to watch that again next season?
I don't know.
I was trying to basically give it this season. Am I going to keep watching it? Because I really liked Arrow for a while. Mm-hmm. But now I don't know. I don't really care about it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Christian Cox, he said, the good thing out of the season finale was Malcolm getting the axe. Plus, Deathstroke needs his own show at least one season. Yes, I agree with that. A Deathstroke season would be awesome. If it was his own show, I would definitely watch that. Malcolm, no, I mean, I don't believe for a second he's really dead. That show does not, they don't keep their promises.
Right.
I kind of missed why Laurel came back. I missed that episode, and I was going to watch it before I watched the season finale. And so to find out why she was back in the picture. But
that's just because of what's his name, Prometheus.
He
was just using her.
So he brought her back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the one that broke her out and all this stuff, and it's really.
But who is she really?
Laurel.
That is Laurel.
Yeah, not the dead Laurel of this universe. This universe is too.
Oh, I see.
Laurel.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, because like I said, I missed it, and so, but I did see her dad put the beat down on her.
Oh man, that's the beating that he always wanted to give Laurel, and
couldn't.
No,
that's
and then
terrible.
he just knocked the living mess out of her.
No father would do that. That's probably not true. But anyway, let's not go down that dark path. How about that? So let's get back to Arrow, which was. So by the time I saw the season finale, I was like, I'm not gonna go back and watch it to find out. So that's how come I didn't know.
Yeah. Okay.
So thanks for explaining that. Next season, I'm not really all that I got to find out. Flash, though.
Oh, man.
The way Flash ended.
Yeah.
I'm what's going to happen? I mean, obviously, spoilers, Bernie. Well, I'll just tell you, Gog. Yeah. The Flash had to go into the Speed Force and sacrifice himself
for the second time.
Yeah, but this time he's supposed to stay there. But they're not mad at him. It's just he's got to do it.
Yeah,
You've been a bad boy. Go
Yeah.
Technically, he didn't have to do it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Jay Garrick or what's his name?
Jay was like, not me.
Right.
I've been there.
Right.
I'm not going back.
He's like, I ain't got that much longer to live, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
no, I got to do
I don't
my
even
thing.
really know y'all. Okay.
Right?
Y'all just kind of, ruined my life.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
All right, so Barry's in the Speed Force for a second time.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But this is his choice now.
Yeah, this was a sacrifice.
Oh, I mean, cameo. You called everything.
Just about.
In the season finale, the only thing you missed was same concept, just who it
Different
really
people,
was.
yeah.
So,
Which, I would have liked it if it was the way that I said it. Like let
oh, well, of course.
let Joe die.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they probably, obviously they wouldn't do that again since he died on Earth 2. But, I kind of wish that would have happened. And rather than Earth 2, Harrison Wells coming over to, console that girl. And, I'd rather they find another Earth Joe to come back.
I'd like to make a topical sports reference if I could, though.
Okay.
You are like LeBron James, but Christian Cox is like KD because he nailed it. Remember?
Yeah.
He nailed it.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, you fed him the dish. I mean, I guess, but he alley-ooped it.
He actually he knew before I did, but we were just talking about it,
okay.
and I was like, "This is what I think." Yeah.
Wait. You mean he told you this, and you acted like you called it on the show?
No, we talked
Yeah,
about it
that's what
after.
happened, God.
No,
Secretly, I told them both because I already knew.
Oh, well, that's true, because GOG does go to the
this was
future
after the show.
Yeah.
many times. I see what you're saying. Y'all compared notes,
Yeah,
Back to the
and
future.
he said, I think it's going to be HR.
yeah,
I think you're right, but it's going to be HR. Yeah, and that was on Twitter, so
yeah,
that's how I saw it.
yeah.
Good old HR.
But so that like I say, the Flash next season, I'm intrigued. I'm like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, is Jay Garrick going to stay with them? I mean, even though they have Kid Flash, is Jesse Quick going to come now since Harry's back over there?
Right.
The endless possibilities.
Yeah,
So many.
I like it. I also wanted to say with the Flash, we know that Barry's not going to be on it. You see what I'm saying? Like some people are saying, well, maybe he'll stay in the Speed Force and it'll be about more like Kid Flash or. But I don't see that happening. Do you?
No. And if it is, he probably will take a hiatus just because Grant Gustin is getting married.
Is he now?
Yeah. And so I'm thinking, this is a good,
maybe he takes a little time off. I don't know. That show is so. He was the first, Barry Allen and the first Flash on this show. So he was the one that, we knew we were getting here and following. So to take him out of it completely would be very odd. I mean, maybe he'll, kind of visit him or whatever.
Might be like a quick deal to where it's like, oh, time has passed, you know.
Well, you know this too. They don't spend a lot of time on anything. Like we were hoping for I almost was thinking we might get like a whole season of Flashpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and see, they might do an episode or two just like they did with Flashpoint.
And then he'll be right back.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's what, that's good. That's good. So let's, GOG, are you all caught up on Gotham perchance?
Mostly.
Okay.
I still have one episode, this week's episode, I think I need to watch. I can't remember the
Yeah, I
title
have
of
this episode to watch. I didn't get to watch it. But, I feel like Gotham has let me down.
It has, but I felt like there were I had issues with this last
Did you guys
episode.
love The Executioner?
No, I don't like The Executioner. I almost skipped that episode altogether. But I was like, well, there's other storylines.
Night suit.
Yeah. But
He's a good actor, though. But
Michael Chiklis.
oh yeah,
It was,
love him.
it was just a weird look.
Yeah, totally. With that virus and that black around his eyes, he just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I
What
don't
else
think
did
he
you-
pulls it
what
off.
else
He looks
didn't
like,
you like about
he
it? Let's-
almost looks like Gold Dust from WWF.
That's funny.
So, I didn't like it. But this last episode leading up to next week's season finale, there were things about it that advanced the storyline that I did like. Some things that I was kind of like, I don't know. It didn't necessarily feel true. And then other things that I was like, that's going to be a pretty decent season finale, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't hated the season. It's been entertaining enough, but there's always going to be issues.
Yeah,
I had a hard time taking so real Bruce Wayne is studying with that older guy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He was an actor in the Dewey Cox movie.
Was he?
He played the dad, and that movie's just absolutely stupid and ridiculous. So I had a very difficult time taking him seriously.
Yeah.
Based on the association with the other role that he played.
He looks like a guy, I can't think of who it is, though, that's been in other movies. Like, I want to, like, The Burbs, or I can't remember which one it was.
Is that Tom Hanks movie?
That is a Tom Hanks movie, yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. I know that guy. I can't remember his name.
But he looks like that guy?
Yes,
or
he does.
is he that guy?
No, he's not that guy.
But he kind of looks like him?
I think that dude is dead. That dude is old.
Probably. I don't like that whole storyline with him and the Court of Owls, and I won't spoil anything for you. I'll let y'all watch it this week.
Have you been reading the New 52 Court of Owls storyline?
I just got started into that.
Because it's really good.
Yeah. This
it was
one...
really well done. They were just trying to introduce the concept of the Court of Owls into the show, I think.
Right.
And not really doing it justice. It's mostly just a bunch of old people with owl masks on.
I didn't feel like it paid off at all.
I mean, I guess they had some of their assassins, but still not.
Talon, I saw where he got beat up by Jim Gordon. I'm sorry. That would not have happened.
That's another thing I want to bring up. Now, I guess you could say that these aren't the seasoned villains that Batman goes on to face.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You could say that.
They're starting off.
You could say a lot of things.
Yeah.
But the fact that Jim Gordon just beats their ass and they're not that tough. And then what does that say about Batman later on, who has trouble defeating these people?
Right.
And Jim Gordon, who's just like a guy.
Yeah, he doesn't have $1 billion.
No.
He just, has
a mustache. Well, I'm talking about Jim Gordon when Batman is Batman. Because Jim Gordon usually, he's tough. And he can hold his own, but you don't ever see him just outright schooling a bunch of people.
Whooping up on an assassin.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things about Gotham. We talk about this all the time that are like, I don't think that they're trying to follow the comic books and stuff.
They're just trying to feed you as many characters as they can.
Yeah.
So
it's
that
just,
you're like, no!
Yeah. Let's just figure it out. Yeah. Obviously, my suggestion for Gotham to make it something that I'd like to watch week in, week out without being a little bit like, more Jerome.
Yes. And more Lee, too.
More Jerome.
All Lee.
All the time. She has to play every character.
Yeah. Let her be Wonder Woman in the Gotham universe.
The Gotham verse.
Sexy.
Yeah. We'll get to Wonder Woman here in a little bit.
Yeah.
So those are two ideas right off the bat.
More Jerome.
Sign us up.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the Batman universe, since we're going from Gotham and eventually to Wonder Woman.
The Batverse. It's a DC heavy episode. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Haters.
Well, let's talk about first that there was a little bit of a flutter
on Twitter. A Twitter flitter.
When Josh Gad had posted a picture. It was just a picture of the Penguin, right?
I think so. Just a comic book. Maybe even just a cell from a comic
Is it
book.
Penguin or Penguin?
Penguin.
Penguin.
Penguin or Penguin?
Penguin. It's look at the A sound. Penguin.
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 Man, I question how I say it.
Penguin.
Is it penguin or penguin?
Penguin.
You know how you have like a pin or a pen?
A pen.
Pin.
Penguin.
Penguin.
Or a
Penguin.
pan.
Penguin. Penguin.
It's penguin. Penguin.
It's penguin.
Like
Penguin.
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 Like
Penguin.
penguin.
No, that's not right.
Yeah.
Penguin.
Penguin.
All right. So he posted a picture of Penguin.
We've lost this segment. It's over.
We hit a roadblock, guys. No, we can't even talk about this.
Okay, so he posted a picture
of
the penguin. I can't say it now.
The penguin.
Everybody was like, "Oh, he's gonna be the
penguin."
Yeah, and then it was like, "Nah, that's just a rumor."
He was just trolling everybody. Basically,
he was trolling.
I hate
trolls.
Yeah,
but as of recent,
there
was a photograph posted on the various social media outlets of him having, well, not necessarily having a meeting, but standing with the two heads of the DC film universe.
Yeah.
And he's holding a penguin book.
Do you guys, are you familiar with Josh Gad?
Yeah.
Do you know of any of the movies you could throw out to maybe people who aren't familiar?
Most recently, Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
That's right.
He was in the, what's that movie with Kevin Hart where he was hiring a groomsman or best man?
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of the movie, but
right.
He's in a movie with Kevin Hart.
So you should, if you don't know the name, because he's not really a household name just yet.
But you've seen him.
Yeah.
You've seen him
You've
around.
probably
You're
seen
like,
him.
hey,
Yeah.
that guy's
But
good.
look him up, Google him, whatever.
He's on the show New Girl.
Oh, that's right.
He's pretty weird in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you'll know him.
He's been in a lot of stuff, though.
Yeah.
Well, if you see his face, you'll know exactly
You'll be like,
who he is.
is that Jonah Hill? No, that's Josh Gad, I think. There is some legitimacy to that. Or Josh Gad was like, you know what? I'm putting out the picture. Mm-hmm. But I think if he put out the picture and then was like, it was just a hoax, something was in the mix. Don't you think?
He wasn't allowed to release anything yet, maybe.
But he just put out the picture.
Yeah, and then he went on to say, I was just teasing everyone.
Yeah.
Or it was a causative thing where he was teasing everyone, and the higher-ups in DC film got wind of it and said, you know what? That might be a good idea.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be that he was like, ha ha ha. And then they were like, this actually could be a good idea. Or
fishing.
Or maybe there was talks, and they're like, yeah, Josh Gad, maybe Jonah Hill, we're not sure.
No, I don't see that.
And he was like,
Dan DeVito,
I'm going to put
again.
Yeah,
I do.
No, I'm not saying Jonah Hill. I'm just saying whoever the other actor might have been. They're like, we're kind of
be a fat actor.
So he put out. Like if you look at that Telltale series, the Penguin,
he's all stylish and cool.
Yeah, he looked like you.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You tried it with the Joker and it didn't work.
You're right.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop trying to, I don't know, make him more current looking.
He could have put out that picture and been like, maybe this will kind of force their hand a little bit,
right,
to make the decision. If everybody's like, oh, that'd be awesome, which people did.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, I would like to see him as the Penguin.
I think he would do a heck of a job.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. They also said that the Joker, I saw this somewhere anyway, that the Joker will be in the Batman movie. So there's going to be and Scarecrow is what I heard.
Oh, dope.
That'll be sweet.
So
if they do it right.
Jared Leto, though.
Hunka.
Honka.
Why?
What do you think? Are you like, yay, Batman?
I think they should have an extensive, at least 10-minute scene of him getting laser tattoo removal, as well as some dental work.
Yeah.
And then under new direction, we'll give it another chance.
Okay.
He's going to be the Joker in a few films, I'm sure.
I was glad to hear that he was going to be in the Batman, but I also can't imagine that he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least in some fashion. Even as much as Batman was in Suicide Squad, which was almost as much as the Joker was in Suicide Squad.
Right, yeah.
They're just going to keep throwing him in we'll give him 7 minutes screen time.
Yeah. So you think it might just be an appearance, or do you think he'll play a bigger part in the movie? And which one would you rather?
I would rather it to be a smaller appearance, to be honest with you, to give, not just because I'm not a big fan of his version, because I would like to see him under different direction to see how that works. But I would like to see more. It seems like what they're doing is what was originally talked about, where they're going to have kind of a rogues gallery of villains. It's going to, because I guess the original rumor was that it was going to take place inside of Arkham. At least a good portion of the movie was going to. And kind of, it seemed like maybe basing it more towards the game series than anything else, kind of drawing inspiration from that.
Right.
Which would be fantastic in my mind. So I would kind of like to be able to explore some of the other characters a little more, too.
So you think we get more of a Scarecrow from Arkham Knight? Or not
that would
Arkham
be cool.
Knight. Was it?
He was in Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah,
well, he was in that one, and then the I believe it wasn't the first one. It was the
Arkham.
But let's just say the Arkham series. Yeah. I mean,
he was pretty prominent in the Arkham Knight game.
Yeah. Was he?
Yeah. That was the first one that came out on PS4 that had the Arkham Knight who turned out to be...
Why do I not
spoil it?
Well, you can spoil that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on that game, though.
Same here.
But I wasn't surprised when it was Jason Todd.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, yeah, I've seen this story before. But I still enjoyed it.
It's a cool game. It's a great game.
Yeah, I love that game. I really do. It's one of my favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll just drive around like, what was that game? Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah. And just hitting like bums and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, not bums, but bad guys.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Cameo? We have bums watching, listening.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
We only just alienated our
bum listeners.
Our bum listeners.
Yeah, totally.
Bunch of bum listeners.
Good segue, though, to a different topic.
Podcast segue.
Yeah. People are going to think we're bums, though. I think. Because we all went and saw Wonder Woman the other day.
Yeah.
And we're going to spoil it now.
Yep.
All right. So if you're watching, you haven't seen Wonder Woman, cover your ears,
cover
hide
your
kids,
eyes,
hide your wife.
Because we spoiling everybody up in here.
Yeah. Spoiling you.
Yep.
Probably light spoilers. But anyway, what did you think about the movie Cameo? We'll start with you.
Okay. I enjoyed it. I think that DC was on the right track with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was going to be a flop like Suicide Squad because one, Gal Gadot.
It's
Gadot?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she hasn't really been a lead in anything.
Right.
And with somebody like that, you're just kind of like, I don't know. But she did an awesome job.
Yeah. She was.
I loved her in it.
Wonderful.
And very wonderful to look at. And,
sure,
I think that's what made me enjoy the movie the most was, it was somebody to look at,
Very sexist of you, but okay. I mean, they did make her super pretty. So,
they did. I mean, they didn't have a hard time doing that either.
No, she was Miss Israel, I heard, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
At one time.
And you know what?
I did not know this.
And the funny thing is that I heard she was part of the army.
Yeah.
So I think that was cool because her fight scenes looked legit.
Yeah.
Unlike,
she looks really good as a fighter.
Unlike Finn Jones and Iron Fist.
Ooh, hey.
But anyways, yeah, I threw it out there. But I enjoyed it for what it was. Was it better than any of the Marvel films? No. But
any of the Marvel films, maybe better than Ant-Man.
No, I loved Ant-Man.
I mean, Ant-Man I liked it, but
I would say Ant-Man in the Marvel universe
better than one of the crappy Hulk movies.
Okay,
all right,
yeah.
Okay.
How many Hulk movies were there?
There was like 2, and I think one of them was generally like swept
there might have
under
been
the
some
rug.
with Lou Ferrigno back in the day.
Those were awesome.
Better
than Iron Man 3, Christian Cox asks.
Oh, yeah. I would have to say so.
That you think it is better?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are Marvel movies that
Yeah.
I didn't have any problems with the movie. I liked it. Well, I did have some problems, I think. Not problems, but just things that it was too long, I thought.
Yeah.
And that's not, I mean, it just was for me. I didn't like how long it was. I thought it was a really good movie. I think it's going to be one of those movies that a lot of different people can like. You don't have to just be a Wonder Woman fan. Like Batman back then. That was a movie that a lot of people liked. They didn't just have to be comic book fans. Yeah. I think this one reminds me of that. Whereas Suicide Squad, there were people that if you didn't follow any kind of the comic book world at all, you were like, who is that?
Yeah.
Who's that?
And and that's the thing too, is that like Suicide Squad, they should have put that movie way off. Maybe
I agree with that a little
2020,
bit.
just because, I mean, focus on your good guys first before you start trying to do something.
I can see
different.
that. Gog, what'd you think about Wonder Woman, the movie?
I enjoyed it. I don't think that the story was necessarily anything drastically new.
Right.
Or there were a lot of things that were predictable to me that happened. Like I knew who the main bad guy was at the end. Like as soon as there was like one scene, I'm not going to spoil too hard,
right?
But there was one scene where it was like, oh, that's him. Like,
right.
I knew instantly, and of course, at the end of the movie, it was like, yep, that was spot on. But I mean, I thought it was a fun movie. I agree with you. I think it was too long. But I don't want to say that it was nothing new because historically speaking and cinematically speaking, it is something that's never been seen before in the sense that it's a huge female lead in a comic book movie that's also directed by a woman.
Female.
Right.
And I heard she's coming back for Wonder Woman 2.
Here's kind of what I think. I think the next movie is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Because they got one under their belt.
Right. And, sometimes I think origin stories can be a little bit tedious.
I think so, too.
It takes them a little bit longer to pick up steam. And this one kind of felt that way. That's why I went and got popcorn, because I was like, I can probably miss about 2.5 to 3 minutes of what's going on.
However, I thought that the way they explained her origin and then kind of was like, well, that might have just been, but it was like a nod to a couple different of her origins, the being created out of clay. And then also the whole concept of the Amazons and the island and everything.
Right.
Seeing it in the movie was like, I get it a little better than I did
that
before.
Makes more sense because it's a part of Earth,
right?
But it's not at the same time.
Yeah. And
there's a barrier that's
why.
supposed to be there. So that was there was a cool element there, and I really enjoyed a lot of the fight sequences. Those were awesome.
Like I said, in after the movie when we did the little Facebook Live video, DC has some awesome fight scenes.
Yeah.
Right.
I.e., Batman versus Superman when Batman's saving Martha Kent. Yeah. So it's just like, even though Wonder Woman's was more CG'd, but I mean, they still looked cool though.
Right.
There's some fight scenes where there aren't CGI'd and they look flawless.
Right.
Like I was like, man, is she really fighting them? Like it was that good.
So let me just say this: there was times of humor.
Yes.
I mean, I laughed out loud a couple times, especially Chris Pine. He said
he was funny, and his secretary.
Yeah,
she was probably the biggest comic relief of the entire movie.
Right. I thought that the love story seemed a little rushed. They were in love, but for her, it was almost like a puppy love that she had never experienced that before. In a way,
it was her first boy.
In a way, because in the comic books and stuff, she could have loved a woman on the island, but in this story. They made her seem like somebody who was seeing things that they hadn't seen before and felt things they hadn't felt before.
It's basically exactly like that Brendan Fraser movie.
Yeah. She was the Encino Man.
No, I was talking about the one where he's...
George of the Jungle?
He's in the... he's in the bunker because his dad's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
The war bunker.
He was the Encino Man.
Yeah.
He was the
Dude,
Encino Man.
I watched that on Netflix the other day. Me and my daughter were watching it.
Yeah.
She loved it.
You're squeezing the juice.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The juice.
So, let's go back to Wonder Woman.
No, I want to talk about Encino Man.
Weird, yeah.
Well, we should, but
talk about the correlations and plot between those two movies.
Lots.
Because Chris Pine is obviously Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Squeezing the juice.
Samir, was it Samir or?
Yeah. The sidekick.
I liked him, man. Yeah. He was hilarious.
Yeah, a lot of good characters, and like I say, what I'm about to say is this: I thought it was shot well. I mean, it looked good. They had a great actress. It was funny, and the story wasn't bad. We're not saying we didn't like it.
Oh no, we liked it.
We're just saying we didn't love it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When it came out that everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. I was like, I'm a little suspicious.
Yeah.
I'm a little skeptical. Is it that good of a movie?
No.
So, well, I'm just saying, going into it, I was like, this is going to blow my mind.
Yeah.
But it was actually what I kind of thought it was going to be, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say A-. And that's not saying it's a bad movie or anything.
Still an A.
It's just like Doctor Strange.
Yeah. It was a fun movie.
When I saw Doctor Strange, I liked it. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to watch it for a second time, but I did, actually, the other day.
It's on Netflix streaming, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
So I probably won't watch it a third time, though. And I mean, and I'm not lying. I watched BVS like 6 times. And I know people didn't love BVS.
I did.
But there were parts of BVS that I loved. And parts that I was like, eh. But the Batman stuff, I was like, I'll watch it again tonight, So that's where I am. Wonder Woman, I probably won't watch it again.
No.
I mean, it's not going to be one of those over and over viewings. That's all.
I'll probably buy the DVD just to have, because I mean, I have all of my superhero DVDs, so I got to have them.
Yeah.
You get bonus features.
Yeah. Gog, any other thoughts about Wonder Woman?
I mean, I would suggest go see it if you haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Go check it out. And another thing that this isn't just for this movie specifically, it's something I've noticed a lot, is it kind of pulls me out of the story sometimes when there's a lot of scenes when you don't go see it in 3D that were very obviously shot for 3D.
Yeah.
Like during the fight sequences when it just slows down, you can tell it's like, oh, there's a big kick coming at my face.
Yeah, yeah.
So that gets obnoxious. But, I mean, I understand a lot of people like watching the 3D movies.
Yeah. I'll give it one whole thumb and like 3/4 of another thumb up.
Mostly.
I think if they had cut down a little bit of it, I might have liked that too.
If they would have rushed a little bit of the beginning, like the origin part, I think it would have been a lot better. Mm-hmm. Because
her as a little girl,
we need to see all that.
We could have got rid of that.
Yeah, like we could have got
montage.
That. Yeah,
it's gonna be
exactly.
A montage.
It could have been a montage whenever she first went in to go. Oh, sorry, I don't want to give too much stuff. But whenever she starts to become
a lady,
a lady,
So from from toddler, I guess, to where she is at now, it should have been like
they could have left out the Jesus years. Like we didn't need that part of
right.
Which is also kind of like what Gotham is, right? It's like the pre that you're like, I'm starting to be like, just get in the batsuit already,
right?
I don't care if he's too young, just put him in the suit.
Put him in the suit. Let him be Robin. I don't care.
Yeah. But with Wonder Woman, I mean, like I say, I really liked it, and I think the next one should be, I think, would be a lot better.
Oh yeah,
I really do.
Since she'll be already established, and I mean, and then we got Justice League. This November.
Did it make you any more excited?
Do you think we're gonna get to see the invisible plane?
I see what you did there.
In the second movie?
Maybe.
That'd be kind of cool.
I don't see.
It looks kind of silly, though, her just sitting there going through the sky.
That takes me back to Adult Swim whenever they were trying to get Aquaman. They were like, hey, Aquaman, we're in Wonder Woman's invisible jet. Come with us. And so they're like, and it's every superhero that can fly. Mm-hmm. And so they're all like, acting like they're sitting down. And then like Aquaman jumps up to act like he's sitting on the plane. And he just falls and busts his butt. Yep. And they like fly up like, Aquaman can't fly.
Yeah.
It's inevitably going to be compared to not only other DC movies, Warner Brother movies, but also Marvel movies, like we were just talking about. But I heard that it's on like Rotten Tomatoes, it's only like 1% behind The Dark Knight, as far as as many people that reviewed it that liked it. I think, to me, there's a pretty big separation between like The Dark Knight and this movie. It's still, I think, a great step in a great direction.
Yeah,
but I don't think it was.
Well, it's also really good for the future of seeing more DC movies.
Right.
And the studios having more faith, like, okay, these movies actually can do well.
Yeah.
And hopefully, with seeing the traction and the good criticism that this movie got, maybe they should be like, oh, maybe we should kind of simplify our movies a little bit more.
True. Yeah.
Because it's just like in Batman vs. Superman, all that stuff, like, okay, either let it be about Batman vs. Superman.
Right.
Or let it be about Doomsday.
Right.
Let it be about one of those two.
Right.
And then
also trying to throw in the history of like Wonder Woman and Cyborg and the Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, come on, like you didn't have to do all that.
Trying to pepper all that stuff in.
Yeah, we know that Justice League was going to come out 2 years later.
Yeah.
Like, just chill.
But that's one of the things when we were watching Wonder Woman that because, spoilers like we've been talking about, but it starts off with a note from Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And you see Wayne, Wayne Enterprises in this shot, and you're like, ooh, there might be a little something I didn't know was going to be in this.
We're going to get a little bat treat.
And then it was like the beginning of the Titanic. It was like, I remember back in the day.
Yeah,
and it's like,
what I was hoping for?
The drawing scene.
Is that, towards, some part in the movie.
The drawing scene, you're terrible.
But it would be Gal Gadot drawing Chris Pine.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
With boxers on, please.
Yeah, there was a lot of Chris Pine weenie in this movie.
Yeah.
Implied weenie.
Weenie.
But it was implied.
Implied.
But yeah, I was hoping that, what's his name? Ben Affleck would have showed up somewhere in the movie.
Yeah. I think if it was set in a modern time, I would have liked it a lot better. I don't know. Yeah. Something about those kind of movies, like Captain America, that was the same thing with that first movie.
They're just kind of like a war movie.
Yeah.
Old Civil War movie.
Yeah, I was like,
movie. And I mean, I think the advances in, I don't know, just like stylistically, the way that people are trying different things, it can make that era look a lot cooler. Mm-hmm. I kind of noticed that even in this movie, that especially like the when she's running through No Man's Land, like that was a really cool scene.
Right,
it was.
Yeah. A lot of great stuff that they did with this movie. I like.
She was beast though. She was beastly in this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's fit. Very fit.
She's fit as a fiddle. Yeah. I'll say that much right now.
The funny thing is that she was too big. The first fitting for the Wonder Woman outfit, she was too big for it.
Which is interesting too, because a lot of people were like, "Well, she's not a huge they wanted like Lucy Lawless."
No.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, but back in the day, I love me some Lucy Lawless though.
But you watch Gal Gadot fight, and it's believable.
Oh yeah.
So I guess I saw this. Some interview, Chris Hemsworth was asked who would win in a fight.
Oh yeah,
between Thor and Wonder Woman. He said that Wonder Woman would kick Thor's ass, basically.
He should say that though.
Yeah, he should say that.
Yeah,
he should say that.
Yeah, or else he'd.
I whip that ass.
Right,
beat her butt.
All he would have to do is just put his Mjolnir on her, and then just like he did to Loki. I mean, couldn't get up after that.
Yeah. So that's what he should say. So good for him.
I don't hit women.
Who do you think would win?
Thor.
I don't know. Thor.
Wonder Woman might win.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He does lose his hammer in this next.
What if she roped his hammer?
Oh my! I don't think we can talk about that on here.
I think that's a wrap, guys.
It's pretty much dead after that.
This has been a Nerdz II Men production. Subscribe today and check them out at nerdz2men.com.